Hey, race fans, Clay Campbell, president of the Martinsville Speedway. Good to talk to you today. I know that I've got a lot of questions from you that you want answered, a lot of things that we kind of take for granted, and we have the answers for them, but we're more than pleased to answer the things that of most interest to you. So that's what we're doing today, and we'll go ahead and hit it and see what kind of questions we've got.
All right, the most popular question was about night racing and date changes. What are your plans as far as getting a night race and then maybe getting into a little bit different date window for weather?
Yeah, well, first we knew that question would come up with the addition of lights last year, and that's typical. I mean, that's expected, and don't blame me a bit for asking that question. I think the biggest thing that you need to understand, there's nobody that wants a night race here more than I do. Our staff, I think everybody in the business would love to see a night race here. I think NASCAR is interested in it. International Speedway Corporation, our parent company, is interested. Everybody, and I know you, the fan, would love to see it. So I guess where we're going with that, it's not as easy as saying let's just pick a date, flip the lights on, and let's do it. There's a lot of moving pieces to it, and we don't control the pieces. So that's the problem. And the second part of that is a better date to get out of the problems that we had in the spring when we got snowed on. We would love to swap dates with somebody. The question is, who wants to give up a date and give it to us? Because most of the dates are taken, so it would take something that makes sense for the other track, makes sense for us, and it's complicated. I think everybody wants to see it. I think I know NASCAR is. We talk to them on a regular basis, so they're aware of it. They would like to see us in a better spot, but the question is, how do we do that without? Well, we can't, because other tracks have their dates, and they're nice guys and we're nice guys. But hey, they got to look out after themselves, and we got to do the same thing. So it's difficult. Not saying it's not going to happen, but that's the issue that we face now. How do we work it out where we can swap with someone? And that's complicated. We're always interested in looking at various opportunities, and hopefully one day that will, the schedule's already set for 2019, so we know it's not going to happen in 19. The earliest it could happen would be in 2020. So we're going to stay on it. We're working really hard and letting it be known that we got lights here. You saw last fall what an interesting finish we had here under the lights. Our huge late model stock car race, the Valley Star Credit Union 300, is under the lights. Huge success. So racing is great here under the lights at Martinsville. So we want to see it. We'd like to see us out of the cold weather, like I talked about earlier. So we're going to keep working on it.
We had several questions about bringing other series to town or having a night race for them. The most popular ones were Xfinity, K&N, Modifieds, ARCA, and we even had questions about IndyCar and dirt racing here. So what are your thoughts on hosting other series at Martinsville?
We again, it kind of goes back to what I said on the dates changing. We're always interested. We're always looking for different opportunities. NASCAR has so many great divisions, the K&N series, the modified, Xfinity, and on and on and on, as well as ARCA. So if things made good sense for us, we would certainly entertain the idea of running something besides what we're doing with the Camping World Truck Series, Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. Obviously, that's our bread and butter. The trucks have always done really well here, so I don't see that changing. But we would like to entertain anything that made good sense for us. Now with NASCAR owning ARCA, that's a potential going forward. I don't know how that's going to shake out as far as people talk about that and K&N becoming one. I don't know. I'm just talking off the top of my head. But yeah, if it made good sense, we would certainly look at doing it.
Okay, the next question is about fan experience. So we had questions about what are our plans moving forward to add new things, like maybe concerts. And then we also had some questions about the seat removal and how that related to the fan experience. Could you talk about those? Yeah,
I think the biggest thing that you as a fan recognize if you're here in the spring, maybe the elimination of the top rows in the Bill France Tower, the removal of the seats on top of the suites down in 1 and 2. Biggest problem with those seats, they were great viewing seats, no question about it, but the only way up there was climbing it. And now that we've had a reduction in the number of people here, we want to make sure that those that are here have the best seats available, and we don't want you to have to walk 12 stories high to get to the seats. We didn't have permanent facilities up there. That's a problem. No restrooms, no permanent concessions. So we're trying to make things better for those that are here. That goes way back to the backstretch grandstand. And some of you I know came here years ago when maybe you stood in line on Saturday night or Sunday morning and bought those unreserved tickets on the backstretch. They were okay seats, but those of you that were back there know that you couldn't see all the way around the racetrack. You were right up close. If you like being close to the track, then that was a ticket. But again, we try to make what we have the best possible viewing areas. And we wound up spending a lot of time and effort trying to move those tickets in the last few weeks leading up to a race, and come to find out a lot of people that were back there, they didn't come back because of the experience they had. As you well know, you had to walk either halfway down the grandstand to a restroom or concession stand towards 3, or back the other way towards turn 2. So there was nothing close. And that's important, as you well know. We try to get restrooms and concessions within easy walking distance, and that was a big problem. So same thing in the Bill France Tower. Those seats are really high up, so we're just bringing everything down to make it a better experience for you.
We had a lot of questions about getting the Cup All-Star race here, and then we had some questions about getting a truck or Xfinity All-Star race here as well. What are your thoughts on hosting an All-Star event?
Well, number one, I think it'd be cool to have it here. It'd be a great race on a short track. But I guess first and foremost, Marcus Smith and his crew at Charlotte have done a wonderful job with the All-Star race over the years. And certainly they wouldn't want to give that thing up. They've done a great job with it. It's kind of home for the teams and all that. So it would be a difficult thing to move. But if NASCAR ever decided to start moving it around, we'd be the first to jump up and down and say, hey, bring it to Martinsville, because I think it'd be a heck of a race.
And then as far as a truck or Xfinity All-Star event, what are your thoughts on that? They don't have one right now.
Yeah.
So, would you want to host it here if it was the first time?
Yeah, I think so. If NASCAR ever came up with an All-Star race for either of the trucks or the Xfinity, again, it'd be a good place to have it. We're not short on excitement, so you put the All-Star race here for whichever division. I think it'd be a heck of a show.
So we have one question about your hometown, Martinsville, Virginia. What do you think makes our area unique, and how can we use those strengths to build a better Martinsville community, not just racetrack?
Yeah, well, I was born and raised here in Martinsville, so it's been home up to this point. I think we have a lot of things that separate us from other places in the country. We've got Martinsville Speedway. What more could you ask for? But I'm just joking. We've got a lot of things here. There's a lot of things for you, the fan, to see and do when you come here besides come to the racetrack. So when we're not on the track, there are things that you can do. We've got Smith River. We have Piedmont Arts. We have the Virginia Museum of Natural History. On and on and on. Things that can occupy your time. We've got shopping. It's a great hometown feel. The people here are great folks. They roll out the red carpet on race weekend for our fans, and they like to show off the business that they have. And there's plenty, like I said, there's plenty of things that you'd be surprised when you come here, the things that can occupy your time when we're not on the racetrack. Well, that pretty well does it for today. I appreciate all of you sending in questions. We got a lot of questions that were quick answers, and I think we answered all of those via the typed word. But I hope you're pleased with the answers that I gave you today. At least you know where we're coming from, and we plan on doing this on a regular basis. We like to stay in touch with our fans, and again, thanks for reaching out to us. Enjoyed answering everything that you had on your mind, and appreciate your interest in Martinsville Speedway, and we hope to see you here for the first date of 500 in October. Thank you very much.